Hey guys, Dr. Justin Marcagiani here. Today's video is going to be on the top 5 reasons you have mold in your home. I see many people with chronic illnesses, whether it's allergies, fatigue, brain fog, mitochondrial issues, digestive problems, and I see mold a lot of times can be a driving underlying factor of the whole entire situation. In some, not every, but it's good to look at that history, look at what the environment is, because we know the environment regarding food and hydration matters. Well, where you live also matters as well. I'm going to just kind of briefly talk about the top 5 reasons why you may have mold in your home. I'm not going to really go too much on the solutions. I'll put some recommended products and things that I use in the descriptions down below personally with patients as well as myself. All right, before we do, please smash that like button. Helps the search algorithm. Put your comments down below. Love to know what y'all think about the topic. All right, so why do you have mold in your home? So one of the first reasons why you have mold is water got in there, and that water stayed more than 2 days or so. Typically, you start to get serious mold after a week, and then usually black mold, that Stachybotrys, takes anywhere close to a month or so. And you don't have to see mold for mold to be present. I mean, that's why basements have that instinctive odor, that musty odor. Well, that's just not basement smell. The reason why basements have that smell is because they're in ground. In concrete, they tend to attract a higher humidity level than the rest of the house. And if your basement's not like a basement that you live in, you're not going to have the ventilation, and that mold's going to grow. You don't have air filtration down there, movement of air, and that's going to cause potential mold to grow. I mean, not significant mold like you would if there's a water leak in pools of water, but just high humidity alone can create problems with mold. So first option is get a good quality dehumidifier for basements. I'll put a link down below. Again, if you don't have an HVAC to plug into, meaning you don't have like HVACs and vents in the ceiling already, then you're going to have to just get one that sits there with a tube that will go down and drain. There'll be drains in your basement, and that will just run. And you want one that just does enough square feet. The one I'm putting down below will do about 2,000 square feet, which is a good sized basement, and that can just run. And you can set the humidity level. Like in mine right now in my office, in my basement house, I have it set at 40%, and it mostly keeps the humidity at 43%. I have the fan on 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off. My humidity is mostly in the low 40s, which is great. And that makes it easier on the air conditioner. Air conditioners will dehumidify as well. The problem is basements are notoriously cooler than the rest of the house, but they're also going to be higher humidity. So if, let's say it's 68, 70 degrees, well, I may not want the AC making it any cooler because that's a good temperature, but now the humidity is going to go up. And so the humidifier is going to lower the humidity independent of the temperature, right? You could be in Arizona, 100 degrees out, but have 20% humidity. That dehumidifier will not kick on. So that's the difference between air conditioning and dehumidifiers. Dehumidifiers will also make your air conditioning work less hard because it doesn't have to suck out the humidity out of the air. So that's one component, is get a really good dehumidifier. You can plug one into your whole house. That's even better. Or you can get one specific for the basement that just sits standalone, or it can plug into an HVAC system in your basement. You could also get a mini split as well that has a dehumidifier aspect that dehumidifies as well and keeps the humidity down, and also has central air, or has air conditioning capacity too. So high humidity is a big one. Second, just water leaks. Why the water leaks there? It could be leaks in the roof coming in. It could be pipes bursting. It could be a leak under your sink. So easy little preventable things. Get, a silicone tray, put them under all your major sinks in your house, and put a little leak detector. I'll put one down below here, just a good one on Amazon. Simple, small ones with batteries that last forever, and put them all in your major areas. Put them under your sinks, put them behind your washing machine, dishwasher, like right in that general vicinity is good. And you can get like just a silicone tray that just has a little lip on there. And that way, if there's any leak or water, one, you'll see it. It won't seep in, and it'll be able to pull up so that alarm goes off, so then you know. Also, big fan of the Moen flow system. That's an excellent one. You can set it on your water. Any running water, more than 30 minutes or so, it's going to trigger and kill that right away. Excellent. So if you have a leak or something, at least the damage will be mitigated. You won't have it go on for hours or hours or hours, or even days or weeks if you're out of your house. And so it's great to have access to tech like that. So we'll put links down below for those as well. These are things that I personally have and use in my house. I love the Moen flow system. Pay $5 a month extra, and they give you a warranty that will allow you to, one, you can turn off your water wherever you're at, which is wonderful. So if you're away, you can kill it. Two, you get a warranty. So the first $5,000 of your deductible is paid for by any water damage. It's paid for if you have that system in place. Now, the goal is it's going to cut the water damage off, so it's not going to be that much because it's going to really be on top of it because it's measuring what your typical usage is. If I go out to my pool and put my water on for just 20, 30 minutes, it's going to kill the water right away. because any unusual activity above and beyond is going to sense it. And there's a sleep button on there. You put sleep if you're doing unusual activity, and you can sleep it for an hour or two. That way it's not going to trigger it and turn your water off. It's especially great if you have vacation homes or rental properties and you want to manage it from abroad. It's nice. So we have leaks. So leaks in roof, around windows, caulking going bad. Get like a really good silicone acrylic caulking that's going to go longer, last longer. I like Dynaflex is a great one. You can caulk right around that window. Take a look at it once a year. Check the caulking on your window, or have a handyman get up there and take a look at your window seals. That's a really easy, simple option just to make sure you don't have water coming in through your window. Evan Brand had one recently. Same thing. Caulking around the window went. Just be on top of that too. Also, take a look at my podcast I did with Jeff just last week. Jeff was great. And Jeff book out. Just last week, we did a nice podcast on last Friday, actually. And it's the top 7 things you can do. We went more into detail, but take a look at that podcast with Jeff book out. That's excellent. And we'll talk about things you can do to actually lower the mold levels in the home with essential oils and different compounds. The first thing you can do is get the moisture level low. Second thing is get on top of leaks preventatively, whether it's hire a roofer to go up on your roof once a year. Just take a peek at things, right? Give them $100, go up, walk the roof, make sure it's good. We'll have a guy come out like once or twice a year and do the windows, and I'll just tell him, hey, take a look closely at the caulking. If any caulking, here's my Dynaflex, go up there and hit it. And I'll just kind of walk, and any problems, take pictures and monitor. It's just simple, easy preventative things. You can get these, not the silicone, but that rubbery kind of material, kind of pans, kind of, so to speak. I'll find one on Amazon here, but these are wonderful. They go right under the sink, and you can collect water, or you can put them under your laundry, and it will, your laundry machines, your those kind of things. So your dishwasher, your laundry, under your sinks, and it's going to collect any additional water, and it's going to be in that kind of rubber latex material. So it's water resistant, and it will pull up, and that alarm will get set off. Also, just kind of common sense stuff. If you're doing any home construction, make sure you use like a cement board drywall or a green based drywall. That's going to be essential. These type of drywalls are going to be resistant to water. And so if you're doing any home renovations in your house, whether it's like behind sinks, like people's sinks, a lot of times they'll still have regular drywall in that area. Well, don't. Just have a green board, they call it, or an MMR drywall or a cement drywall. Have cement drywalls right in that area of any sink or any water. Put the right kind of water resistant drywall, and put some of those rubber latex pans in the sink area underneath where you put all your maybe toilet paper or soaps and such. Keep it all right there so you can prevent any water leaks from happening. Get the leak detectors, put them in there. Any water leakage happens, you get the alarm is sound, you're ready to roll. All right, so where else? We get water leaks, we have around windows, we have roofs, we have high humidity. Next thing is take a look at your HVACs. Make sure your HVACs are draining properly. If we have excess humidity in the HVACs, that can sometimes sweat and cause perspiration, and that perspiration can leak and cause mold behind cabinets and drywalls, depending on where your HVAC is. I had a patient just yesterday had the same problem. His HVAC is sweating for some reason. So it could be an air filter issue. It could be just a drainage issue with the HVAC, and it's just not draining the water, and it's excessively sweating, and that's permeating moisture into that area. It's going to get absorbed by the drywall and surrounding cabinetry, and it's creating mold. So make sure you get your HVACs looked at once a year. Make sure you're changing your air filters at least twice a year. Make sure you have good drainage and everything is moving through that HVAC. Make sure it's fully assessed and tested. That's an easy kind of low-hanging fruit. So we have HVAC. We have high humidity. We just have leaks. We have leaks around roof. We have leaks from pipes. We talked about preventative options with the pans underneath the sink, the rubber pans. Talked about the flow device, the shut-off water. We talked about the noise-based kind of sound. If a water leak happened, leak detector, you can put those right in those pans. That will give me detection. I have one right in there in that bathroom as well. Leak detection right there, no problems. I think that's all going to be the big ones. Now, treatment-wise, we can topically hit mold with hydrogen peroxide. That's a really good option to topically hit it. Depends how bad it is, right? If it requires you cutting out wood, cutting out drywall, you best have a mold remediation team there that can put everything in a bubble. It's called negative air containment, where they can break everything down, obviously using masks and gloves, and they can put it in bags, tie it all off. The negative air containment has its own air filter running through it. That way you're not spreading all these different mold particles and mycotoxins throughout the house. Bag it, tie it off. Then when you walk out of that negative air containment, it's all ready to go, and you just throw it in the trash. And then also, if it's like wipeable, if it hasn't permeated deep, you can come in there and topically hit it with hydrogen peroxide. Obviously, to be smart, have the right kind of mask, have gloves, hydrogen peroxide, wipe it right up. And then afterwards, you can do a mold dry fog to help mitigate any of the mycotoxins. That way, you can do the Haven formula with a dry fogger, hit that whole area, and you're good. And if it's like really left a lot of mold stains, we talked about using like a vinyl low VOC lacquer or sealer, and you can just seal right over that. That way, it encapsulates the mold and prevents any further off gassing moving forward. Hope that makes sense, guys. Hope that resonates with you. Again, we hit all the major reasons: humidity, because of basements, good dehumidifier options, leaks, whether it's roofs, whether it's pipes bursting, whether it's sinks. We talked about preventative options regarding alarms and containment. We talked about using common sense material, whether it's green board or MMR drywall in areas where water is going to be. Be smart with that. That's a great way. So if there is a leak, guess what? You don't have to worry about ripping stuff out. And then we talked about the last couple of means in regards to treatment and ways that we can fog it. And topically use 13% hydrogen peroxide. It's a great option topically. And again, if there's mold there, it'll bubble up and it will foam. So it's almost a really good detection tool. If you're like, hey, is that potential mold? Let me throw some hydrogen peroxide on it. Oh, did it bubble up? Oh, it did. So it's probably mold. It's a good chance it is. And you can remediate that and then use the dry fog afterwards. And then we can use plate testing. So we can use plates to see before and after, see how many mold spores we have. We can either just leave it out for an hour, close it 4 days later, count the spores. If we have more than 5 spores, let's do it again. Let's send it off to immunolytics and see what's going on. And I'll put links down below for mold testing. Put links down below for the dry fogging Haven formula that I use with essential oils. It is tangerine, citrus, lemon, grapefruit. Really excellent to, one, it dispenses the anti-mold compound in the air. It sits for a while because it's light, it's dry fog. It's like less than 5 microns in size. It will take those mold particles down and it will also denature them. Put links down below for hydrogen peroxide as well, and the different types of dehumidifiers. One that plugs into the HVAC and one that would sit independent and that would drain as well. Yeah, and stay away from like using dehumidifiers that have like a fixed containment that you have to empty. That may be okay if it's like a room or a bathroom that you're using every now and then, but if it's in your house, you want your dehumidifier draining all the time. I can tell you people that would put these type of dehumidifiers in their home, like a 2-gallon or 3-gallon one, I find that on humid days, it'd be full in 6 hours. And then it's going to automatically go off if you don't empty the water. So if you're not keeping up with it, it will just go off and it won't work. And when it's really humid, it'll be amazing how much mold you will get out of the air. And so try to get one if you're going to have it in your house that's in your HVAC or it has a line into it. So it'll go all the way out into the drain, or get a mini split. And the mini split will have a condenser unit on the other side, and it will suck the humidity out the wall and out onto the ground outside of the house. That's a good option too if you don't want a dehumidifier in the home. Hope that makes sense for you guys. And again, take a look at Jeff Bokout's podcast with me last week, the top 7 solutions to remediate mold from your home. And again, testing is going to be the best way to do it. Prevention is going to be the best way. If you have mold issues, don't freak out. Try to be commonsensical about how you deal with it. Get to the root cause. And make sure you're on top of an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure on that front. All right, guys, have a good one. Dr. J here signing off. If you want to reach out and you want to dive in deeper because you have mold issues in your person, in your body, in your detoxification system, you're having symptoms, brain fog, mitochondrial issues, fatigue, and also you want to talk about options to address it in your home, put down links below where you can reach out to myself and my staff here worldwide if you want to dive in deeper. Awesome, guys. Dr. J here signing off. Have a good one. Take care.